Hey, sis. Okay. The Lord sent me here to tell you they're not your friend. I know you're just like, what? I know you go to lunch together. I know sometimes you even share secrets, which I'm telling you, you're going to regret later. So let me help you out, sis. They're not your friend. Now, am I saying that you can never have a friend that you work with? No. But the ones that you think are your friends, they're not your friend. Everybody say it with me. They not your friend. The glory of God is even all over this. They not your friend.
My life is for your glory, your glory.
I hope y'all had a little fun with the intro. That was the fastest intro I've ever made. Okay, it just rolled off. And maybe because I just came out of this season of thinking my work friends are really my true tribe of friends. And let me tell you, okay, because this is a lesson that I have been learning, but I have successfully learned it. You know, when those lessons that the Lord continues to bring across your path over and over again, no matter where you go, you're like, dang, didn't I just face this, but with different people or in different situations? Well, I'm telling you, sis, I have finally learned. I have finally learned. And why is the Lord wanting me to tell you now? Because He is trying to help some of you not get your heart hurt, not get your feelings hurt. Now, some of you ain't gonna listen because, you know, some of you just learn by experience, and that's okay. Like, you've made the decision that I want to live in the life of hard knocks, okay? And that's fine. That's fine. But for those of you that will listen, let me tell you, no matter what area of field of work that you're in, and I think it's so interesting because I'm like, yeah, I worked in preschool, I worked as a makeup artist in retail, and I thought, whew, some of those people were the worst, okay? I thought some of those people were the worst. But then I got into corporate, and I'm like, dang, they just as bad. They just know how to hide it better. People of God, say it with me. We're going to say not your friend. People of God, say it with me. They not your friend. Okay. Now, what constitutes as a friend? Somebody that's like in mind, like in spirit. Now, can a coworker, can someone that you work with become friends with you? Of course. I have actually made some lifelong friendships with those that I have worked with, but those are few, far, and in between. That is not the norm. That is not what you should go in expecting. Friends hang out outside of work. I'm telling you, the best piece of advice that a manager gave me, and this actually just came back to me, was he told me, he said, Thalia, we're not your family. I said, what? Because we were just talking about how we all a family. He's like, you don't pay your family to hang out with you? And I was like, that's true. Good, bad, and ugly. You don't pay your family, okay? Now, I know some family members are like, I need a check. I know I can send my invoice to some family members too, but family does not operate like a corporation. Now, I know who came up with that saying about we are a family, but no, this is a transactional relationship. I perform well, you pay me, okay? My family sometimes don't always perform well because sometimes they got attitudes. Okay, I'm really coming out of my skin on this one. All right, I'm like, I must be really comfortable with y'all, okay? Because sometimes they have attitudes, but we don't fire them. Okay, sometimes they don't perform well, but we don't fire them. And let me prove to you even further, since we're on this topic of work friendships, that they're not your friends. How many people that you know that you still talk to from jobs that you have left past? I mean, forget about jobs, think about school. You guys grow in different, areas of life and pathways or whatever the case may be, but especially in a corporate setting, because one of the things I found out about corporate people, clearly this is all my chest, I got to get it off, right? Is that a lot of them they don't live a double life. I don't want to say that, but they come with their corporate face and then they have their real face. And sometimes you think their corporate face is who they are and you're like, oh my God, this is my girl. And then you find out, no, your girl is turned up over there somewhere, okay? And you don't flow that way. And you realize, oh snap, Shelly is different in the office than Shelly is outside of the office, and we just don't flow together, okay? Yeah, they're not your friend. But he said, we're not family. He's like, and I remember this was right when I was getting promoted to that dream job and I was leaving that toxic environment. And I felt so bad because I was like, man, I was really in it with them. Like it was such a, and I was commanding things. Y'all saw that other video, so you know what I'm talking about, in toxic environments. And I was declaring the name of Jesus, and we had so many like times of joy and everything. And I remember the manager saying to me, well, you should probably, take this position. And I'm like, well, I'm going to leave them behind. I don't want to do that. And he's like, think about it. Then it came down to, I decided to take the position, right? So now we're going to have a happy hour. Because he know me. He know my style. He know I like nice things. Okay. So he was just like, well, we can have it 30 minutes pretty much uptown in the area where you like, very ritzy. I was like, oh, now you're speaking my language. Okay. And I said, no. Actually, I want to have it right next to the office, like 3-5 minutes away, so everyone can come. Because these are my friends. These are my friends, and I want everybody to come. So we did find a really nice place, as nice as we could, around the area, and we set it up. And there was linen, and there was plates, and honestly, he spent more for this happy hour than he probably should have. I think the people that were not happy with him. But you know what? It's the favor of God upon my life. And because of that, he was blessed. Okay. But anyways, I say all this to say, I was like, yeah, let's have it close to the job. So that way people can either leave early and just come for a few minutes, or they can come right after work and don't have to stay long. No one. Okay, let me not say no one, because I know you're probably like, okay. There were a few people. A few people. I think we planned for like 26 people. And I think maybe 8 showed up, and most of them was management. Well, what I didn't think about was the fact that people would be jealous that I was moving on, because I thought we were friends. And he told me, I remember when he told me, he said, but Thalia, do y'all hang out outside of work? And I said, what do you mean? He's like, do you go to dinner? Do y'all talk on the phone? And I was like, no, we only talk in the office. Well, what do y'all talk about? We talk about work and, the gripes of work. And he was like, that's not a friendship. It wasn't until that happy hour that I was like, dang, I think he was right. But then you would think I would learn that lesson, sis. Woo! Okay. You would think I would learn the lesson after that happy hour that, they're not my friends. But no, I got out of that toxic environment. I got into a healthy environment. I'm just like, oh, these people are great. They're nothing like those people. They're exactly like those people. They're just happier, okay? Because they're in a better environment. These are my friends. And then the favor of the Lord starts to show upon you. And then the grace of God starts to come upon you. And then you start to be elevated. And you realize that some people don't actually mean you well when you start to elevate, because they don't even realize that you're the type of person that would pull them up too. But they're so busy thinking about themselves and their elevation. And they're upset that you're elevating, and they can't understand why. And then you realize, dang, they were never my friend. And let me tell you, the Lord has saved me from situations, because there are people who had tried to get close to me. And I'm pretty close, I would say, to a majority of the people that I work with. But like really try to get close to me, like want to know my business. And I just did not feel comfortable, even try to make me feel like, wow, you just won't open up. But it was like, no, I just didn't feel comfortable. And those are the same ones that the enemy tried to use to persecute me. And I was like, thank God I didn't tell them my business. But what I want to say to you is, they're not your friends. They're your coworkers, and you're here to get a job done. The company doesn't even pay you to be friends. The company pays you to do a job well done. And if you want to elevate this, you need to keep your mind on that. Now, should you be friendly? Of course, you should let the love of God flow through you. Be friendly with every single person that you come into contact with. But the holies of holies, guarding your heart, you need to be able to do that, because you will face disappointment, and Satan will try to use to steal your joy. How do I know? Because he tried to do it with me so many times. So many times. Just like, oh, I thought we were further than that. Oh, I really like them. Wow. But let me tell you something. Rejection is protection from the Lord, okay? And just because somebody rejects your friendship, it's not the end of the world. Let them see the glory of God through you. Still walk in love with them. Still be kind. It doesn't matter, because you're the only Bible that they maybe ever read, all right? But what I'm telling you right now is that friendships in the workplace, they're very slim, very far, few and in between, and most likely probably won't happen. If there's one thing I've come to know working in corporate, is that there are people that really only look out for themselves. They do not understand the life of abundance, and that everybody can have a piece, but they secretly try to use you. Management too, secretly try to use you to get ahead. This is why we need God in the workplaces, okay? This is why we need to glorify God in the workplace. They need to see a different model. They need to see that you don't have to stab somebody in the back. You don't have to step on somebody's head to get ahead. You can actually do good by someone and still be promoted, and everyone can still win. And you know what's so interesting is you look around and they're the most miserable people ever. And all they do is complain. So of course they're miserable. They're just constantly churning that cycle over and over again. And that's why they need joy. And you're the joy carrier into that place because you know the Lord. So not only is God elevating you and putting you in positions so that way you can be blessed, but he's really flowing through you to bless other people. And those friendships that you truly do make in the workplace that is ordained by God and that truly come together, because I've had a couple of these, so I understand that truly comes together. They can see what a real friendship looks like. But even those that hang out with each other and call each other friends, girl, they be talking about each other, girl. And if they're talking about each other, because you know they're talking about each other to you, right? So-and-so talking to you about her. And so-and-so talking about her. Just know so-and-so talking about you too. All right. Well, this was a little quick video, but I am hoping to save you for some of the heartache that I went through, no matter the career field. So I know that this is not just based on a career field. This is just based on, I guess, mankind and how they operate. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. Like, everyone doesn't have to be your friend. Like, we're here to do a job. We're here to be friendly, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be part of my tribe. And it's okay. And I'm talking to you, but I'm like, I literally just walked through this. Like, I literally just walked through this. And because I walked through this and I walked through this with the Lord, like, He has revealed so many things to me and has just elevated me in joy and in his love to even see that person and those people the way that he sees them. Like, if they're not looking to God for their source, then they're really trying to work by their wits. So even if they try to do things to slight you, a lot of the times, like, they're not thinking about what it actually does to you. They're just thinking about the means it brings to them. So don't even fault them. Like, move on. You know what I mean? But I'm just telling you, I don't know. Well, I definitely can't be the only one, because I've spoken to coworkers about this and spoken to my friends about this as well. Like, some of my besties, some of my friends. But I'm just curious, have y'all experienced this in the workplace too, where you thought somebody was your friend or they seemed to be your friend and really they're just trying to use you? How did you navigate that? I would hope that you still allow the love of God to flow through you to them, because they need to see it. And as much as you want to get them back, it's not worth it. It's not worth what it will do for you. It's not worth how it will stagnate your career. And it's better to show the love of Christ, because where else would they see it? They're obviously not seeing it enough to where they want to model it. So you have to model it for them. Hooray! You get to model it for them. But this one is quick. This part is quick, but let me tell you something, sis. There is a testimony coming after this, and I am so excited. It's the testimony. Listen, the Lord wanted me to share. I had no plans on sharing this testimony anytime soon, not even any year soon, okay? But the Lord wanted me to share this because he knows somebody needs this testimony, and it's how I became a manager, and it's about the supernatural favor of God upon my life and the supernatural favor of God upon the life of a believer. So if you're a believer, you can tap into that supernatural favor too. But I know that it's going to bless you, because no matter what anybody tries to do, you will rise. Do you hear me? You will rise. All right, be blessed. Love y'all.
My life is